Hey everyone, it's Kimmy. I am Mama on a Mission. I am a 14-year online reseller on eBay, Poshmark, and Depop, and I am now also a Whatnot live auction seller for about 3 months now. And today and most Mondays, I do a What Sold Ship With Me video, and that's where I will share with you the numbers of what sold over the weekend, and I will share with you exactly the items that sold for how much and why I picked them up. Now, I will say these numbers are fantastic, and I have a really nice mix of items here. I have some good brands to know, some good materials, some style-based. If you don't know, I do a lot in style-based clothing reselling. And then I think there's a couple like stinkers in there too, but I am trying to move out inventory for the new year. So thank you all for being here. If you wanted to, you should check in and let me know how your weekend was. How is everything going? I do have another, a larger What Sold video coming late in the week. But these videos are very informative. And if you're a reseller or you're just curious about what we're selling out there and for how much, this is a great video. It just is a little bit more chatty than my other What Sold videos. But, you know, what can I say? We talk all things thrifting, reselling, life, food, whatever comes our way. So let's get to the numbers. Let's be professional here, folks. Let's be professional. It's chilly today. I think the high is like 42 here in Wisconsin. I'm getting all bundled up back into all my sweatshirts all the time. All right. Already just can't focus, can I? I had a great weekend. Now, we've been talking about how my numbers have been increasing throughout October, which is fantastic. If you didn't see my video that came out on Friday, you should go watch it. I kind of made a pretty big life announcement. And I will say in October in general, my goals and my listing were more than normal. So for a very, very, very long time, I've been part-time. I usually say about 25 hours a week to my business. So anything before this, which it's November 2025, has been part-time. Most of the time I'm listing anywhere between 5 and 10 items a day. On a bad day, it was 5. On a good day, it was 10. However, in October, my new goal has been 10 consistently, and that is going to be going forward from now on. It's going to be, my goal is 10 new listings on eBay per day, and then I use my nifty reseller tool to cross-post onto Poshmark and Depop. So, eBay, I did $368.26. Remember, this is for just the weekend. I ship Monday through Friday, so I shipped Friday afternoon. So it's mostly Saturday and Sunday, November 1st and November 2nd sales. So 2 days, $368.26 in sales on eBay. Poshmark was $160. And Depop, I had one very solid sale for $40. And that's how Depop usually is for me. It doesn't sell a lot in quantity, but normally it is a higher priced item. For a total for the weekend. Why do I look like such a mess today already? What's happening? What's going on? A total for the weekend of, this is good. I'm very happy with this number. $568.26. And I only sold 18 items. So what I'm going to tell you, here's what I got to tell you, is that I do have a lot of solid bread and butter and some higher priced items. You know, like I said, there's a trickle of a couple like lower priced stinker sales, but I do think my solid bread and butter, which is $20 to $25 sales, and then a couple higher priced items is bringing this number up. And I'm very excited about that. Hopefully that shows that I'm being a little bit pickier in my pickups. I do think that's a little bit reflective in my thrift hauls. I'm trying to be better at my job. Goodness gracious, trying to be better about what I'm supposed to be doing here. So a fantastic weekend, $568.26, 18 sales. And I'm very happy with that. So eBay was $368 and I had 10 items sell. So that's a pretty solid number for me. I am mostly a brick and mortar, bread and butter girl, like I said, and I'm going to get to showing you these items telling you what they sold for, why kind of I picked them up, that type of stuff. I did want to do a shout out to a couple people. Tanya, Tonia, I believe it's Tanya. She sent me a buy me a coffee after my video on Friday, and it really just, it was very sweet. You know, just kind of, I have a life transition here, and it has to do with reselling, and that was very sweet. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Also, Danielle from Midwest Thrifts. She's been sending me a lot of really nice comments, but she also gave me a tip on whatnot. You know, there's all these things. I am not good with social media stuff. I still don't completely understand it. Just that I don't understand all the things. Like on Whatnot, when you're doing shows, people can tip you. I think if you're like being entertaining, or if they buy an item at a great price and they really feel like it's, you know, worth more, they can tip you. I have also had someone tip me on Whatnot, a fellow reseller who asked if she could promote in my show, which I allow as long as it's not too crazy spammy. And she sent me a tip for, you know, just as a thank you, which is really nice. Like, getting into social media here, I didn't know that some of these things were things. You guys know you could do that? Like, the Buy Me a Coffee is a link. It's in my description. And it's just a way they say, like, to fuel someone who is doing social media content that you really enjoy. So, depending on the day, this is just water. But I do like, I don't know if we're already into the food and I haven't shipped one thing yet. Like, I'll get like a caramel frappe. McDonald's had just put out a Chips Ahoy frappe, and I'm telling you, it was like drinking a milkshake, and there wasn't enough like coffee flavor in it for me, and it was probably just the person who made it, right? And I do a lot in, you know what I buy a lot of is like mixers. That makes me sound like a raging alcoholic. Like raspberry lemonade, like those little drink packets, and I'll put extra strawberries in there. I'll put extra lemons in there. That's usually like my midday. I try to start out with 32 ounces of water. No, this isn't vodka. And then I'll move on to like like we do the IV hydration, like for electrolytes and all those things. So that's what I do a lot of, in my various cups here. I have a lemonade cup. I have a water cup. I have all kinds of things, but, so, all right, let's get to something important in reselling before everybody clicks off and thinks I'm crazy, okay? This is a fantastic sale. If you made it 7 minutes, here you go. Ireland's Eye, made in Dublin, Ireland. This is a wool and cashmere sweater. I do a lot in materials, but this brand is good. Ireland's Eye. Really, if you find anything made in Ireland, Scotland, France, I found something in France last week, made in France, not France. I've never been to France. It could be a reason to pick it up. Look at this very lovely on trend and on season piece. It's a sweater. It does have some like, some details there. It kind of has like this unique little speckle to it, but it's a wool and cashmere blend. The brand is something to know. This sold for $56 plus shipping. Ireland's Eye women's wool cashmere sweater, size large. I put fisherman and cable knit, and it does have like a little bit of a mock neck, which is nice. Very on trend, very on season. $56. Woo! And it's going out to Arizona. I wonder how warm it is in Arizona. It still has to be pretty warm, no? Getting out my poly mailers. I'm almost done with these, which I love them. I think they're bright and colorful and fun, but I really want to do something fall Christmassy, and I do have more, but I have to get through these. Someone did comment, my girl Trolley, that she got one of these from me, and she said it was really high quality and she wanted the link. I have a ton of links in my description, but I will say this is like a thick, like not gonna bust envelope that I get. Honestly, it's just an Amazon link. I get a lot of my stuff right on Amazon. No sponsorships here. I'm just little old me. But she did comment. She was like, those are really nice. They're really high quality, thick. And that's kind of nice when you're sending out $50 items, right? You don't want to feel like it could rip, right? Or if it gets tossed, you know, down the conveyor belt at USPS, that it's, you know, not going to survive. So going out to Arizona, which is far, so this one's probably going to be a little bit pricier. Oh my gosh, my scale battery died. Well, that was fun. I do think as I prepare to go full-time in 2026, I'm going to invest in a few things, and that's going to be a better scale. I've had this scale for I don't even know how many years, probably, I almost said 6, 7. Oh. It's been a while, many, many years. It runs off a little square battery. It's nothing fancy. I do think I'm going to make some investments in order to, you know, kind of streamline my business, make sure that all the things I need are quality and ready to go, because I feel like sometimes being a thrifter also means like we're thrifty in a lot of other ways. Maybe not for you. This sweater is 12 ounces. And going all the way out to Arizona, it's still only costing $6.20, which is nice. Means we're thrifty in other ways. Like I've had this North Face, and it's one of my favorites. I took a drink of water and spilled on myself. This video is already such a mess. Maybe I shouldn't even post this. I should start over or be a good editor and edit all the craziness out. Means that we're thrifty in other ways. I've had this sweatshirt for like 10 years. I don't buy myself anything. Even in my other like business here, like everything is thrifted or I've had forever. Like I don't like spending the money. I'll spend the money on my kids. That's about it. Not on myself. And if it's not broken, don't fix it type of deal. Although I will say waiting too long sometimes puts you in a pinch as well. But that was a great sale. Is anybody still here with me? I'm so scattered today. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Just all over the place. That was a great $56 sweater sale. 56 plus shipping. I'm looking at this skirt here. This is a really pretty skirt. I remember sharing this with you guys on a haul. And this is a style based. It's a vintage Y2K, witchy vamp core, fairy goth skirt. Stretchy pull on, the black with the like gold tone shimmer. See how it has the tiers? It's almost like a broomstick style. And it did like flare out a little bit. Those are all the things. And the bottom even had like some fraying, intentional fraying. So all those are style-based reasons to pick this up. Midi to maxi length skirts. If they are like a broomstick style, layered, tiered, all those things. Vintage Y2K, maxi skirt, women's large, fairy goth, witchy, vamp. $31 plus shipping. And that had no brand that, like, there was no real value in the brand with that. So style-based pieces can be kind of complicated because it's not like when you see a Patagonia, you know it could be worth money. Like when you see stuff like this, you know, you have to really assess whether or not it has enough reason to pick it up. But they can be obviously worth the value. Going out to Washington, $31 plus shipping for a non-brand style-based pickup. I share these all the time in my hauls and my solds. Do I have any other style-based in here? Maybe. I'm trying to look here quick. You just never know. You never know. But if you're looking to learn about style-based items, keywords, I'm probably someone that could maybe help with that. And I'm learning all the time too. I listen to lots of other sellers all day when I'm working. I put other people on YouTube's podcasts and I'll just listen to them and I'll pick up on, you know, new things, new trends. This is only 9 ounces. Lightweight. Like I said, going out to Washington. Gosh, it must be, I put in. Yeah, Washington is far though. You know, those states are the most expensive for me to ship to. $6.39 and another great sale. $31 on a style-based skirt. And even though it's after Halloween, that whole trend is still pretty strong. Fairy, goth, gothic, witchy, vamp. There's a whole style aesthetic that, you know, that buys this kind of stuff. So that was a fantastic sale. I've got my bag down here. Now this is a dress that I have several dresses, so it's very interesting. The things that I have, that's a sweater. I do have obviously some other sweaters you could probably see here. I have a swimwear item. I have several dresses. I think I have 5 dresses in this haul. So, you know, you just never know. And they're not like sweater dresses. This is a like sundress. You never know. I shared this not long ago, Bowden. I picked up a couple Bowden dresses at the bins. I don't think I've had this, but maybe a month. Bowden is very hit or miss for me. This was like a wrap dress. Sometimes they're kind of hard to get together. But I splurged because this is a 16-18. So I really am trying to stick to larger sizes, at least a medium to a large, unless it really has a lot of good things going for it. My small bins are packed, overflowing, and I have a ton of small dresses that aren't moving. So, and that's nothing to say about it. You know, it's just that I think the market's oversaturated and those items sit a lot longer. Bowden midi length dress, size 16-18, wrap, jersey stretch. Jersey's like that rayon blend stretch that a lot of us love, very comfy. This dress sold for $31 plus shipping. So another great sale. I mean, if I could always be selling in the $30 range, that would be fantastic. This is going in a smaller poly mailer. It's my cute little pumpkin one. Cute for fall. Going out to Virginia. Okay. And it is 14 ounces. One thing I forgot to mention when I was blabbing earlier was about the fees on that Depop. I wrote them down. So going out to Virginia, this dress cost $7.70. It was 13 ounces. But a great sale. A Bowden dress for $31. I would say a lot of the Bowden items are more like $20 items. But this had a lot of things going for it. It was the newer tag. It is a wrap dress. It is a 16-18. So I do think those reasons why you got a couple more dollars out of it. I wanted to mention about Depop. You guys know I use Nifty. I'm always talking about it. The one thing I do really love about Depop as well is their fees are only like 2% plus a transaction fee. Like 2%, like no lie. So I sold one item for $40, and after fees, what they're going to give me is $37.68. Like, that's crazy, because we know, like, eBay is like 13 plus transactions. Poshmark a lot of times is 20%. You know, a lot of times the fees are higher, but Depop has a very low fee. Something to think about and keep in mind if you do any of the trendy brands, if you do anything athletic wear, any in the style-based vintage band tees, vintage slash and or band tees, graphic tees. It might be, you know, something to think about selling over there. And with my Nifty tool, I take a minute every day to cross-post 5 to 10 items onto Poshmark and Depop. Literally. Like, it's so fast. So fast. Let's show you this dress. Sold in one day. One day. And I'm like, geez, should I have not accept the offer? Should I have priced it higher? I don't know. I did pick this up for more expensive. This is a regular thrift haul pickup. Gosh. Oh, this was part of that video I put maybe a week or two ago, and it says, did I pay too much? This is a $9 dress. I paid $9. And it's a brand I love, and that's Sundance, which is like a more expensive boho type of brand. Here's why I splurged on it being $9, and clearly I was right because it sold in one day. For $40, I accepted an offer. I listed at $49. Within 20 hours, I had an offer for $40, and I was like, do you counter to $45? Am I happy with $40? would I take the money and run? And I just did it. You guys tell me, maybe I should have listed a little bit higher. I'm always unsure when things sell that quickly. I'm like, did I underprice it? Here's why I think this sold for more. Sundance is a great brand. It's almost always a pickup for me. This is a size extra large, which is a great size. It has this lovely eyelet detail. So it's all the things in this obviously very chic white. It's beach, it's boho, it's travel, and it's a long maxi length dress. It's just, honestly, just a stunning piece. A lot of Sundance dresses are in the $100 to $150 brand new. Many, many Sundance items that I've found have been $130 dresses, $150 dresses, but they're also very pretty. So yeah, I put cottagecore, boho, beach. You could go travel, coastal, resort, but obviously it's also like prairie and cottagecore. So I think this really had a lot going for it. And obviously it does, the brand and the size made it even more valuable. So I paid $9. It sold for $40 in one day, plus shipping. I think that's great. I'm just going to be happy with it. I love a quick flip. It's going down to Venice, Florida. That sounds wonderful. I need a vacation. Where should I go? I need somewhere really nice that has something for teens to do. I guess I could go with just my husband. I don't know. We're one of those families that most of the time my kids go everywhere with me. Like when we go on trips and stuff, it's pretty rare my husband and I go by ourselves. Venice, Florida sounds wonderful. So let's see how much this is going to cost. So yeah, I'm going to invest in some things for 2026. I've already been working in October to streamline some ways that I do things. I'm reorganizing some of my inventory, and I have been listing more. So I do think, and I'm thankful that it seems like those things are working, because the weekend was fantastic, and I am very happy with that amount of sales. It's only 12 ounces, and it'll be $6.05 going out to Florida. Very nice, solid item. Style-based, but also brand-based, for sure. So yeah, Depop has such low fees. You know, I think a lot of my items, I'm not sure if they really, I don't want to say belong there, but like each platform has a market, or seemingly a market. And I think a lot of times my items are mostly like eBay. They seem more geared towards the eBay customer base. All right, let's keep going here. Here's another fantastic sale. This is a garage sale pickup. I picked this up in spring. I figured it would sit because it's very, it's heavy, and I just sold another one of these from, Paul et Duffier. It's mohair and acrylic blend, and it is vintage. I picked this up at a garage sale, like I said, it was $5. The sweaters were $5. Lovely green color, hooded, fun big buttons. It's a mohair blend. I think this is an oversized large, and it doesn't even have the style. You know, a lot of the style right now is a little bit cropped with like a lot of people are wearing like high-waisted jeans or jeggings or whatever they're wearing. Very, very nice. So vintage, material-based, style-based. This is all the things. $5 to $56.04. I knew it wasn't, I figured it wouldn't sell in summer. So it makes perfect sense that it's selling now. $56. Fantastic. You know, I struggle because it's like, that whole garage sale was full of items. I could have taken home a truckload of stuff. But just because it's vintage or just because it has mohair doesn't always mean that it's going to do well for you, you know? I mean, that's, I guess, the struggle of being a reseller in general, right? Like, we have to make those decisions, and we're investing our money into these items, and you just have to, I always just try to stack those items, and I'm going to continue to be strict about what I'm picking up. You know, just because I have plenty of wool items that sit. I think last week in my What Sold, I told you guys there was a wool, I think it was a Calvin Klein, and it only sold for $10, and it sat forever. So I do think maybe the Calvin Klein kind of maybe made it sit longer, but at the same time it was wool, so I didn't think it would sit for that long and for only $10, but it did. So this is going out to Maryland, this vintage Duffier hooded sweater, mohair, cropped, boxy, fuzzy. This is a little bit heavier. Let's see. The time for food? Tell me, what you guys make for food this weekend? Or last week or anything. I'd love some ideas. You guys know that. We love talking food here. Always. What do we do this weekend? Ooh, that last week I made a potato soup. That was delicious. My older son, he was okay with it. He's my pickier eater. My younger son had like 4 bowls. He was like, Mom, this is the greatest thing ever. Or some people call it like loaded baked potato soup. It was really good. I'm not even going to lie. $7.67 going out to Maryland for this vintage mohair sweater. And that's not so bad. It was a pound, 2 ounces. So I had a bunch of cooked up bacon, obviously a bunch of potatoes. I did a mix of russet and like a yellow soft potato. I mostly peeled them, chunked them up, put it in there with some chicken broth, bunch of seasonings. I put carrot. You know, sometimes my soups really depend on what's in the house, right? Like I had some carrots, so I threw it in there. Some people with their potato soups, it's strictly like potato and like a cream sauce, and that's okay. I put bacon in there, carrots. I think that's it for the vegetables. A bunch of seasoning, and then towards the end I put cream, a flour cream mixture, you know, to thicken it up. Lots of spices. It was delicious. Yeah, that was yummy. Warm, comforting, filling. And really, you could skip the bacon. A lot of people don't put the bacon in. And potatoes are cheap. So if you need a good hearty meal, comforting, warm for winter. But you know, I get a 5-pound bag of russet potatoes for like $4. You know, it's very affordable. So it's a good option. I have quite a few leggings here, which is very interesting. This was a surprising one. I like the colors in it. It's just Victoria's Secret Sport. These were a fitted size medium, tight activewear, multicolor. You know, this is just VSX, their like performance line. I did like the colors on it. You know, a lot of Victoria's Secret I pass on. But these sold for $15.77. So that's still, you know, if you're picking this up at the bins, you know, we'll see how much this weighs. And then it sold for $15. That's still an okay bread and butter for something that a lot of people probably would pass on. But let's face it, Victoria's Secret's expensive. I haven't been there in a long decades. That's for another YouTube channel. 8 ounces, but their stuff is pricey. So going out to Florida again, and it's going to cost $5.15 to get there. Yeah, I love soups. I already have another soup planned. I'll do a soup a week pretty much until early spring. I love soups, and I always just do like a soup and salad, or I'll do soup and, you know, sandwich. I'll do grilled cheese or a panini. Because soup, like for my kids, they're like, what, it's soup? Or garlic bread, soup, salad, and breadsticks. We do like an Olive Garden night. Yummy, yummy. And then we did ribs on the grill. And asparagus and something else. Yeah, you know, we're food people. Give me some ideas. I'd love to know what everyone is making, what you ate. Even if it was Pizza Hut, what are we having? Let's see, do I have anything planned today? I'm doing, I don't know where they come up with these names, but crack chicken. It's basically shredded chicken with Italian seasoning and cream cheese, and you shred it up. And so I'll use half of it on a bun, and my kids love it. They'll put barbecue on it or whatever, and I'll just serve it with something easy because I'm feeling lazy today. And then I'll save the other half and I'll make it into another thing. A lot of times it's enchiladas or taquitos, some kind of burrito bowl. So it's very versatile. I take a full family pack of chicken breast, cook it all up, shred it, season it really well. And then, you know, the cream cheese, like cracked chicken, maybe some of you guys have heard it before, will be one meal. And then I'll use the other half for another meal. Because I'm thrifty. I need to have ways to feed my kids that aren't going to cost a fortune. This is a vintage Disney. Look how cute. This is Disney Store embroidered Snow White and the Dwarfs button-up size large. Look at, there's the one. What one is that? Is that Dopey? No, that's the baby one. They're so funny. I still love picking up vintage Disney. The Disney Store. You usually can tell just by the tag. This sold for $21.20. I got it at the bins. You know, Disney is another one that can be hard because they do a lot of collabs with like Jumping Beans, which is a Walmart brand. And honestly, sometimes I still do okay with it. But again, not everything Disney is going to sell. Vintage, I love the embroidery. And that's actually where I will pick the items up, where it's a little bit higher quality with the embroidery. 9 ounces for the vintage Disney Snow White shirt, going out to Missouri. Yeah, I don't know. And it usually depends on what I'm feeling like, what I do with that other shredded chicken. You know, I could turn it into, I love this spinach and Tuscan soup that I make. A Tuscan spinach chicken soup. It's so good. $5.90. So it really depends, but it's versatile and it's affordable. And then you already have a meat planned for something else. So, or I'm going to make chicken salad. My husband loves chicken salad. I do too. Like for sandwiches. I need another YouTube channel for food, mom life. Because we could talk all day about food. All right, let's keep going here, right? So I have this men's Brooks Brothers, another brand I do still like to sell and other people might pass on. Brooks Brothers is very expensive. This is a extra fine merino wool sweater vest. It sold for $18 plus shipping. Now, it's a great size, extra large. It's merino wool, and it is, you know, it makes sense that it's sold right now because it's sweater season. People are, I don't know, it's so strange because like I said, I have dresses and swim here too. So, you know, markets can be funny sometimes, but it's a great pickup. You know, most of the time I'm just getting I'm getting these types of items at the bins because a lot of other people pass on them, and that's okay. But for me, 18, so it says $13 is what I take home, $13.86. And I paid 75 cents for it. So on an item I paid 75 cents for, I'm making $13. And for me, as a bread and butter item, I'm still okay with that. And since it's Poshmark, all I do is download the label and away it goes. Well, that didn't go the way it was supposed to go. Oh, goodness. Open that up. There we go. Out to Pennsylvania. Pete in Pennsylvania. So I do have, let's see, I have a whatnot this Wednesday. I had to switch some things around. My son's, practices are changing, and so I have to kind of adapt with what they got going on. My son starts basketball, and I'm really, really excited about that. Here's this swim item I thought it was cute. It was new with tags, but I think because of the brand Island Escape, it was new with tags. It only went for $10. I got it at the good, the bins. I get most of my swim at the bins these days. Really cute little eyelet. But it only sold for $10. So I'm like, this is one of my lowest sales of the weekend. I'm happy to move it though. And I guess, note to self, be particular. And just because it's new with tags does not mean it's going to bring money. I mean, it will, just not a ton. Again, though, I'm taking a 75-cent item and I'm making $6.25 off of it. I mean, it could be worse. I could be losing money, right? I really look forward to basketball season. I was a sports girl. I love sports. I still love watching sports, and I love watching my sons play sports. So I'm really looking forward to that. I love watching my kids do anything, and quite frankly, I cried a lot. I cried a lot lately because my boys are growing up. They're teens. I only have a couple more years to watch them in these things, and then I don't know what I'm going to do with all my time because my whole life has been devoted to bringing them places, to watching them. Every sport they've tried, every band, every Christmas choir event or, everything, So I only have a couple more years of them, being able to watch them do these things, and then it's going to be over. And my mama heart is going to be so sad. This is another, Travis Matthew. I would say 1 to 2 years ago, this was more of a like BOLO solid sale. Just like with a lot of these brands, they pick up, people get word or figure it out that they're a more, pricier brand. And then the market gets flooded. Everyone's finding it. Everyone's selling it. And the sell-through rate goes down and the, dollar amount goes down. But this was still a $20 sale for a Travis Matthew long sleeve. It's a golf preppy type of brand. Like dad brand kind of preppy. So it's okay. $20 plus shipping. And I was happy to move it. But, I was watching Quemby, the Grateful Reseller, and she was talking about how the brand Pact still has a ton of value, and it's still a great brand. She picks up, I pick up, but that it's moving a little bit slower because, big mouths like me are telling everyone about all these great brands to pick up, and then the markets get saturated. So this is going out to Georgia, Thomas in Georgia. Travis Matthew, yeah, I would just keep the cost of goods low on that. And of course, now we're kind of out of season for it because it's more of like a golfing brand, like something you'd wear in spring, to a Mother's Day luncheon or, Father's Day thing, that kind of thing. So interesting that it's sold now. What do all your kiddos do? What do you guys love watching your kids do? What do they thrive in? My sons have tried a ton of things, and some of them stuck, and some of them they don't like to do anymore, and that's perfectly okay. There's this mom meme out there that says, oh, I don't know if I can repeat it without being emotional. You don't really know when your kid's last their last choir concert, their last baseball game. You don't actually sometimes know when that is. And that makes me feel sad. Because then those memories are gone, right? Why am I being so sad today? What's wrong with me? What is wrong with me? Let's just get this shipping over with. This is another brand. This is a bread and butter brand. It is a more expensive brand, but the sell through rate is slower. This is one of those only bread and butter. You're not going to get $1 million for it. It's Soma. Soma. I sell this brand all the time, honestly. I do like their items, their quality. The materials are really nice. They're well made, and it is pretty pricey. This is a shapewear pair of leggings. Fitted, size green. A nice green color. You can tell it has this, it's fitted with this super stretch with the thick band. Compression, shapewear, leggings. And they sold for $16.91. So I still think, in my opinion, that's still a solid bread and butter item. Let's get some good vibes up in here. How do I do that? I was going to start singing, but no one wants to do that either. Going out to Missouri. I do sing every once in a while, and I'm not... Have you guys been seeing that? Like, the trend is people filming themselves trying to sing a song in front of the mirror. The mirror. And just seeing if I can not go into my job and make it as a musician. They're pretty funny. If you need a good laugh, you could maybe look that up on, like... it's on TikTok, which I don't, it's on some other, like, Instagram Reels and stuff. They're really funny. Like, people either are really good or they're really questionable singers. And they're just trying to see if they cannot go to their job that day. Essentially saying, am I good enough to sing for a living, or should I go to work? And sometimes the comments are so funny. They're like, you got to go to work. Get in that car. Get in that car and go to work. Or they're really good and they're like, quit right now because you're so good. And there's who knows how many hundreds of thousands of people out there that are actually really good at singing, and no one ever knows anything about them, But they're really funny, and the comments are really funny. So I have a 2-piece bundle here. What? Bundle. Interesting enough, they're both the same brand. It's ModCloth, and they're both dresses. This is really pretty. Look how pretty this is. Navy blue. I do love selling ModCloth in larger sizes. Here's the brand for you. Let's get that up there. Good, Kim. ModCloth. Size 16. Very pretty navy blue dress with this little rose detail. And then the other item was also a ModCloth, and this was a 2X, like kind of prairie style dress, cottagecore, boho, prairie, lovely colors, small floral print. She bundled them together, and it came to $49 for both dresses. So essentially, you could say each dress sold for $25, which, in my opinion, is great. I'm very happy with that sale. And like I said, ModCloth in larger sizes, like 14 and above, I would say. Like I said, this is a 16 and a 2X. Really pretty. This was on Posh. I love getting bundles on Posh, but it doesn't happen a whole lot for me. So I was very thankful for that. And honestly, a great sale, $25 a piece for those, I think is a great sale. Going out to Utah. Liz in Utah. There you go. Only a couple more things. This is a fantastic Depop. Maybe I'll do that next if I haven't lost everyone. Ooh, I'm trying to keep these under an hour because they take so long to upload. It will literally take like 2 hours to upload these videos, and it really kills my battery. So I'm trying not to go over an hour, because then those take a really long time. This is a stinker sale. I just listed this. I liked the print, so it sold fast, but someone offered me an offer, and I am trying to clear out inventory for 2026. So I just took it. It's Tommy Hilfiger, but it's a size 2. I love this classic like bandana print. But it only sold for $10. Wah, wah, wah. And I accepted an offer. So, I didn't have to accept the offer. However, not the best sale. I'm going to be really selective on my small or extra small items. My bins for those sizes are overflowing. Most of them take a lot longer to sell. And honestly, I find a ton of smalls at the bins. Like I said, I think it's a saturated market. And And I think there's a lot of smalls out there, so they sell a lot slower. I could pick up small all day long at the bins, honestly. I just am trying to be more particular about like the materials, the brands. It really has to be worth it. Going out to Pennsylvania. So I make like no dollars on that one, which isn't the best, but it's okay. I have a couple things here that I basically am breaking even on, maybe a couple dollars, but I'm happy to move it out so that I can get some better items, hopefully be more selective in my inventory, right? Anybody want to talk about any of their goals? Please, I would really love to hear them because I'm setting mine and kind of been in a mindset every night of thinking about what I'm doing here. And I would love to hear. Actually, one of you had a really nice comment I'll talk about here in a second. This is brand new plus size 5X legging from Just Sonoma. I bought it on a Kohl's clearance rack for $2. And I had a ton of these. I've sold, basically this is one of my last ones. It sold for $9.61 plus shipping. So, sometimes I wonder how Kohl's is even in business. I used to go to their clearance all the time, but it doesn't seem to be as good as it used to be. And I would get things all the time for $2-3. I would use a coupon and I would find some plus size things like this and flip them for a $5-10 profit. But they really don't have any good sales anymore. And a lot of times you can't combine the coupons or, you know, it's fine. They have to make money too. But I made a couple dollars on this. So someone did comment on my video I just did about my reseller life changing. And she commented that, you know, she's full-time. It was a really nice, long, thorough comment. And she was telling me about all the things she does as a full-time reseller and what her goals are. She tries to list 10 to 15 per day. And this is her strategy. She had over 2,000 listings. You know, she was just giving me all the info that works for her and really helped me because I'm like, okay, well, maybe I need to be in that realm too, because now in 2026, I'm going full-time online, all my 4 platforms here. You didn't see that video. That's basically what I announced. A couple things happening. So it was very helpful for me, honestly, to hear from someone who is full-time right now, considers them full-time, how many listings they have, how much they try to list, what their strategy is. It was really helpful. So I thank you. I'm sorry I don't remember the name right off the bat, but it was really helpful. This is another item I was happy to move. Croft and Borrow. I only ever, very rarely pick it up if it's plus size or newer tags. I love this like nautical print. I'm just drawn to it, like the blue and white stripes. This sold for $10 plus shipping. Very, very cute item. But most of the 99.9% of the time, don't pick that brand up. I have Croft and Borrow items myself, but the resale is very low and very slow. It's not a good reselling brand. This is really cute though. Going out to Missouri. I feel like I've had a lot of like different Virginia, California, Pennsylvania. It's always interesting to see where all my items are going. A couple more. We have a Quacker Factory, I believe. Let's do this big Depop one. This is fantastic. Definitely an item you should keep an eye out for. It is a Wrangler. So this is an item that sold for $40. They pay me $37.68 because the fees are so low. It's a Wrangler size 4X chore jacket. Now, if you find any chore jackets, I would definitely look them up for fall and for winter. And I'll show you what I mean here. This thing is huge. It's heavy. Think of it just like it is, chore jacket. Now, right now, chore jackets are trendy. So it could be for someone for work, you know, if you work on a ranch or, you know, a farm, those kind of environments. Or it could be that it's very trendy right now to have this chore jacket. Heavier weight, usually a zip and a a button, double pockets, and if you find something with a contrasting collar, like this has a corduroy collar, of course, in big names, I just sold one that was a Dickies. This is Wrangler. If you find Carhartt, then you really got something good going on. Chore coats, barn coats. That's usually the words that people use. This is going out to Maryland. And luckily I did enough poundage because that's a heavy one there. It's a huge, actually, I'm going to have to need a box. So I'm putting this big old coat in this eBay box. I just ordered more with my coupon. eBay sends you a coupon if you have a certain store level every quarter. And I just ordered 25 more of these. There's the 16, 12, 8, which you can order if you don't have an eBay store. You just have to obviously pay. I get a $50 coupon every quarter for eBay branded supplies. And this fits great in there. Sometimes for like boots, heavier coats. I use a lot of these for Whatnot actually, because Whatnot usually has multiple items. Like I said, that's going out to Missouri. So here's this little Quacker Factory velour velvet pant set, size extra large. I love Quacker Factory. I've sold this brand probably for a decade. Usually though, there it is, Quacker Factory. Has the little duck on it. Usually I will stick to things that have, a lot of their items do have more details like this. See, it's like quilted with these rhinestones, rhinestone zipper. This, I just happened to find both pieces, is a pant and a top set. Very, very cute. Sold for $33 plus shipping. If I find anything plain from Quacker Factory, I normally don't pick that up. But if it has like some big, bold graphic or something really unique, you know, a lot of times unique sells, right? So if it has, or, you know, it's like a plus minus, because sometimes something really unique might take a little bit longer to sit, but if it's the only one of it, then it's worth more because it has, you know, these big, bold prints, unique designs, that kind of stuff. I sold a couple Halloween items from Quacker Factory. The one went for like 20 and the one went for like 30, and they had this big castle design and there was ghosts flying and like you know, different rhinestones. It was just a very bold, unique piece, and you know, it sold really well. So I found a box to put that set in. Very cute Quacker Factory. And this is the last item, women's rubber steel shank ankle duck boots, size 11. I got these at the bins. They are a little bit heavier, but they sold for $20. I accepted an offer. I really didn't have them that long. Great soles. Check your soles. You know, it's kind of this time of year. These sell fall, winter, spring. You know, when things get slushy, maybe rain, sleet, snow. Obviously, a good pair will be like waterproof, or at least semi-waterproof. So when you're walking around in your slush, I sold something on my Whatnot the other night that I thought would be so cute with a pair of these duck boots. You know, you wear this and then you have like your favorite little adventure hoodie on, outdoors hoodie. $20 plus shipping. So I'll throw those in a box and I'm ready to go. So what did I have? 19, 20 orders. 18 orders, $568.26. I'll head these off to the post office and I'm going to get at least 10 listings done today. I did a ton of organizing over the weekend. We went and bought bins and shelves and all kinds of things, and my Whatnot area I feel pretty good about it now. So I'm probably going to do maybe like a 3-month update on that as well, but I feel good about it. Hopefully I can use that as a part of my income for 2026. I'm still gaining my following. You know what I'm going to do? If you make it all the way to the end, I'm going to schedule in November here in next week or so, just a chat with me. There are a lot of people on there that do like a chat with me video, like it's a live video where we all just talk about what's our plan, what's working, what's not working, what's our frustrations. Like this went really well. I see a ton of people do that on Whatnot. It's also a way to connect with other sellers and buyers, right? So look for that. If you are curious about Whatnot, find me. I have all my links in my description, and then look for somewhere in November. I'm going to plan it tonight. I'm going to sit on the couch for a little bit tonight, I think, and plan out a like seller chat, Whatnot seller chat, new seller chat, and it'll be like 30 minutes of us just chatting about anything reselling, particularly about Whatnot on that, you know. I also want to do like lives, like once a month live on YouTube. I just have to get my life together. I've mentioned this before. Another fellow reseller, she just started like a membership thing on her YouTube, and she's gonna, you know, I think that if there's a membership connected to it, then you feel more devoted, like, okay, I have to do this. She's going to do like what sold videos just for them, but she's also going to do live chats where, you know, some of you guys do ask me a lot of questions and I want to answer them all. Just sometimes I don't have the time. Typing it out, it takes forever. My chubby little fingers go as fast as they can. So just things I'm thinking about for 2026 and ways I can help everyone else and connect with you guys. Cause you know, that's really my favorite part. That's what I always joke on the end of my Whatnots. I'm like, can we just sit here and chat? Cause I don't even I just want to hang out. Just want to hang out and chill. So I hope you guys are doing well. Happy Monday. Here's to a great week. It's going to be a great week. I hope you're getting all the things done. Check in. Sending my love. Love you all so much. See you on the next one. Bye.